Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special episode of Creeps, Creatures, and Haunts.
Oh my.
Today's episode, we are going to be talking about weird Christmas traditions.
Yes.
Weird Christmas traditions. Last year, if you did not watch, we talked about a similar thing. It was more like along the lines of like creepy,
Like
just strange folklore and that, where this one's more about tradition. Some of it might be steeped in folklore, but this is more about the tradition itself. So after watching this, you're like, man, I really would like to hear some more weird, creepy stuff. Maybe you're thinking, oh, why didn't they talk about it in that episode? Well, it might be in the other ones. You can go check it back from last season, from season 1, and all the seasons are still online. So whatever podcast form you're listening to, you'll be able to see it, and if you want to, you can also watch it on YouTube. Because we talked about things in that one like the Yule Cat, which is a fun cat that eats kids who didn't get clothes or whatever.
Yeah.
Mary Laud, and a little bit about Krampus. But we know that everybody knows what Krampus is, so we try and kind of keep that one on the down low, just because everybody for the most part knows what Krampus is. So yeah, today these are just strange traditions. A lot of them are kind of short, so we're just going to kind of just talk about them. We're going to say what they are and then kind of discuss them and stuff like that.
So one of the things we found was, and I know a lot of people know about this.
Yeah, this one's probably one of the more common ones because, yeah.
Apparently, they don't really celebrate Christmas in Japan because, there's a lot of different religions, and they obviously don't have a lot of Christians and things like that in Japan. But they love to get, for December 25th, KFC. And it's so popular that the restaurants actually tell people to make their reservations to get their food 2 months in advance.
Can you even imagine, for one, having to have a reservation for a KFC in America? A reservation for KFC. That's as wild as how McDonald's sometimes for the lulz will do Valentine's Day dinners.
Oh, that's right. I remember they did that.
Yeah, you can go, some McDonald's have a thing where you can go and get a candlelit Valentine's dinner, which everyone knows is trashy, obviously, but that's why you do it is for the trash.
Maybe we should do that one year.
Do a Valentine's Day dinner at McDonald's.
Do a podcast from our Valentine's Day dinner.
Do a podcast. Maybe a food vlog, Maybe that'll go on the second channel that we've been toying around with for doing food. But yeah, I find it interesting.
It started in 1974, and it was actually done to kind of help visiting people from America and stuff like that have a little piece of home. So if they were having a hanker, they were there and they're like, I'm sick of, this Japanese food. I want some food from home. They opened a KFC out there and they were like, oh my gosh, I can eat KFC. Mm-hmm. And then it just kind of blew up where, now every December 25th, they go and get KFC for Christmas.
According to figures released by the stupid thing, where'd it go? According to figures released by the American fast food chain KFC, Japan pulled in 6.9 billion yen, roughly 63 million, from December 25th to December 20th to the 25th in 2018, with lines out the door starting on the 23rd.
Wow!
So they made the equivalent of $63 million US in a 5-day span. That's
crazy.
That is crazy. We have people just love it. This is this Twitter post. It's all in Japanese, but yeah, that one probably is the most common. I think that that we've heard on this list, and a lot of this is coming from the website Wanderlust, by the way, and some other various. But this one I found interesting. In Norway, people are basically told to hide their brooms, or it's tradition to hide brooms, because it is believed that on Christmas Eve, evil spirits and witches arrive in the countryside, and it is logical for them to hide their brooms before they go to sleep. So basically, that way, the witches don't come and try and use your broom.
Okay. That's funny.
Because it says that, you might find your broom in broken pieces at the foot of the tree, trashed by some joy-riding witch.
That's funny. Oh my gosh.
Like, I find that to be, like, really, really odd. Like, they're just like, okay, we got to hide the brooms.
Yeah.
So the witch...
We don't want
like,
this.
is there a broom shortage? Or the witches, like, out of all the things the witches could do, like, so they're coming and they're just stealing people's brooms and destroying them?
I guess. Or they're, like, flying around and breaking them, and then they're like, oh, I better put that back.
Do witches... It's kind of funny. Do witches even, like... historically, or like in legends, I guess, not historically, like actually use brooms? Like, that just feels like a thing that...
Well, I mean, you see it in all the, like, you know, Halloween decor and things like that with brooms and stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, I mean, that's literally, that's just it. That's why they do it, is just to hide the brooms. To keep the wizard from flying about.
Oh my gosh. That's so strange.
Yeah, it's really odd. Yeah. What was this one? Oh, yeah.
Okay, so apparently it is a tradition in
Caracas?
Venezuelans, and in the capital, in Caracas, it is customary to get to your church service on Christmas on roller skates.
Yeah.
I don't know why. They just...
It says, yeah, which I...
just do it.
Many roads in the capital are closed until 8 a.m. to provide Christmas worshippers with a safe passage. It says, also struggling with economic woes caused by high levels of inflation that make life tough for such Venezuela's population. While clearly not curative, Christmas roller skating is a way for people in the capital to keep traditions alive, for families to come together, for communities alike.
Okay, so...
I mean, still, I mean, I guess they just...
Really
yeah.
Anything.
I mean, I guess it's just something that people used to do a lot, and it's just kind of become a tradition. Skaters roll past, they give the string a tug, and children know that it's time to, well, get their skates on.
Oh, yeah, it says, children go to bed with a piece of string tied around their toe and the other dangling out the window. As skaters roll past, they give the string a tug, and children know that it's time to get their skates on. That's weird.
Yeah, that is really strange. Where do the roller skates come in? It isn't clear precisely how or why this unusual tradition started, but sources suggest it's an alternative to sledding. December temperatures in the northern hemisphere can reach into the high 30s. The contrast between the carefree fun of roller skating with the solemnity of Mass is reflected in Venezuela's unique demographic that is liberal in name, but not always in practice. So it's essentially their form of sledding, I guess. So it'll be like if we just had hills everywhere and we could just sled to church, but interesting. Huh. Well, I guess that's, yeah, so yeah, there really isn't a real good explanation as to why they do it, but basically because it's fun. Yeah, this next one's probably the one of the weirdest, in my opinion. But yeah, one of the weirdest ones, I think, is probably the pooping log, and this is in Catalonia. Locals in Catalonia create a character out of a log, drawing a face on it and giving it a hat. Then they spend a fortnight feeding it fruits, nuts, and sweets. On Christmas Eve, the entire family beats the log with sticks and sings a traditional song that translates to, if you don't crap, well, I'll beat you with a stick. Until the log excretes all its treats. It's hard to comprehend. They just in this article, like, it's hard to comprehend why this tradition hasn't caught on. Yeah, real hard to understand.
Like, yeah, you ain't gonna poop, I'm gonna beat you with a stick. Okay.
Yeah, and it's basically said, to poop. Yeah, they beat it and they beat with sticks, and then it's supposed to poop out the presents because they lay like a towel over the base of the log's butt, so the end this does not have the face on it. And it says, in reality, the kids duck out to pray for pressies. I don't know if that means presents or whatever.
Presents, yeah. Yeah,
well, relatives pop the gifts under the blanket. So it's kind of like a Santa situation, but instead it's a log that poops out their presents after you've fed it fruits and nuts. And then they just really like poop here.
Yeah. Well, that I kind of want to get some, and now like anytime I go to some place and they have a nativity scene, I want to add one of these to it.
Oh my gosh.
It's called the El Cagoneer, and it basically means the defecator, and it is a little figurine of someone pooping, and he's just squatting, and there's like a little pile of poop underneath him.
Yep.
And I guess it's supposed to be something about like it brings good luck if you have this in your nativity scene. Like they legit in Catalonia put it in their nativity scenes. And if you don't have one, you're going to have like bad crops and bad luck.
It's so ridiculous.
And your year's just going to be ruined if you don't have one of these little
pooping figures
in your nativity scene. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if that was like the original, because, you know, I mean, South Park had
Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo.
Like, I wonder if that's kind of where it originated from, was this tradition. Like, maybe they, like, heard about this, and it's been so long, maybe they mentioned even in the episode somewhere, and one of them, I'm not sure, but maybe. I find it kind of interesting. Like, there's obviously a correlation there between...
Now I have the song stuck in my head.
Mr. Hanky, the Christmas Poo.
Small and brown, he comes from you. Sit on the toilet, here he comes. Squeeze between your festive buns. Oh my
gosh, wow, yeah. South Park used to be pretty great. It's kind
they
of
actually
lost
had a Christmas album.
That's not surprising.
Yeah.
I'm sure it sold well. They've branded it a lot. I think that would be hilarious, just to have like little pooping figurines, and you just put it in random like nativity scenes and stuff like that. Like, I feel like almost no one would actually get it.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's so popular that they actually make them into like characters now. So it used to just be a man that was pooping, and it's supposed to be like a homeless man or something like that. Well, now it's like Santa or like celebrity characters. Like I think there's one like that's Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And just like, you know, different cartoon characters and stuff like that are pooping in your nativity scene.
How great.
'Cause, you know, that's what baby Jesus needs is some poop.
Yeah.
Like it's bad enough he's in a barn.
That's what
a bunch of animals.
That's what the fourth wise man brought him.
Oh, incense, frankincense, myrrh, and poop.
Yeah.
Well, the other
just
three.
A hot pile.
The other three were to cover the smell of the poop.
Yeah. Now maybe that's where the tradition originates. Is there the fourth wise, and we just don't talk about him. He was something was messed up with him.
Yeah, he had irritable bowel syndrome.
He forgot a gift, and he's like, "I'll make one real quick." Anyways. This one is kind of gross. Greenland, a Christmas dinner you'll never forget. Next time you find yourself complaining about Granny's festive Brussels sprouts, spare a thought for the poor tykes in Greenland. Each Christmas they have to eat matok, which is raw whale skin with a little blubber, and kiviak, which is made by wrapping an auk, a small Arctic bird, in seal skin, burying it for several months, and eating its decomposed flesh. I guess that's their Christmas dinner in Zealand. I wonder if there's an episode where what's that guy's name, Andrew Zimmerman, like goes and maybe. Oh,
I'm sure he's probably eaten that.
Probably.
He'd eat this pen if I gave it to him and said it was a tradition.
That sounds just vile.
That sounds awful.
It doesn't sound safe.
I'd be like, I don't want to celebrate Christmas.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, like what kind of...
I'll take the Brussels sprouts. Thank you.
Yeah, that's really, really weird. Oh, I don't even know. Yeah, okay, well, so don't go there. Don't go there for Thanksgiving feast, or you will be very unhappy. unless you're into rotting seal flesh.
Yeah.
Any hoozle.
Okay, so what is this? How clean is your house?
Yeah, this is from Guatemala. It's a Guatemalan tradition, yeah.
Okay, so it says, in Guatemala, cleanliness really is next to godliness. Locals believe that the devil and other evil spirits live in the dark, dirty corners of your home. Therefore, they spend the week before Christmas sweeping up, collecting rubbish, and then piling everything in a huge heap outside. Finally, an effigy of the devil is placed on top, and the whole thing is set on fire.
Huh.
It's called La
Quema del
Quema
Diablo.
del Diablo, the
Yeah.
burning of the devil. The idea for Guatemalans is to burn all of the bad from the previous year and start a new year from out of the ashes.
This is kind of what spring cleaning is. We just don't put a little devil stuff. We don't burn it, I guess,
we don't put
either.
a little devil, and we don't burn it in our front yard. Huh.
So I wonder if there's like a store that sells like a whole bunch of the little devil statues. Because if like everyone's doing this, you would need it, and you're burning it. So, I mean, that doesn't seem like too crazy, I guess. I mean, it doesn't necessarily seem safe if you're just piling stuff like...
Yeah, because what if there's like combustibles, things like that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would assume they're smart enough just not to do that.
Maybe.
There's like a little video of what looks like a parade, and there's like a little devil on a little junk heap, like man dressed up. So it looks like they must have like parades or something about it as well. Oh yeah, this was one that I know that you found to be fun.
Yeah, I thought this was really cool. In the Ukraine, they put spider webs on their Christmas tree. What it is that this is what it says on this article. It says the tradition has its origins in an old tale of a poor woman who couldn't afford to decorate her tree and woke on Christmas morning to discover a spider had covered it in glorious sparkling webs. So, I guess, yeah, it kind of looks like, I mean, if you have like the twinkling lights or the candles, because I know they used to use candles to actually light Christmas trees, it would sparkle kind of like tinsel.
Yeah, and I mean,
like
especially
that.
like if you've ever like seen a spider web like in a dewy morning or something when like the sunlight hits it, it definitely sparkles.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just really odd though to think like throwing artificial spider web like around your tree. Just kind of think of it. We could have done that. We have artificial spider web.
Yeah.
Maybe for next year's Christmas set, we'll make spider trees.
Yeah, we'll make spider trees.
We'll make spider trees, but for this year, we just have kind of traditional trees, except we have our little fun
We have little
ornaments on them.
cryptids and stuff.
Little cryptids and stuff like that on our tree, because at least that's fitting.
Yeah, and Winifred. Yeah. Well, you know what? Actually, she's got a broom in her hand.
Winifred?
Yeah, she's got a broom.
Yeah. For you listening, she has an ornament. It's like a characterized version of Winifred Sanders from Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
She's kind of cute. With her.
I'm hoping they're going to come out with more. This was the first in the series, so I'm assuming they're going to come out with Mary and Sarah as well. Maybe all the other ones, too.
Oh, they don't have those already, you don't think?
No, this is the first year they did it. Well, because, Hocus Pocus is super popular right now because they are making the sequel.
Sequel, yeah, like, which is insane.
It's a cult classic. I guess it's considered now. So, I mean, yeah. My little Winifred. I had to buy it. I was like, I need this.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's really well made. But yeah, I think that that will be kind of cool to see someone decorate their. Cobwebs and tinsel kind of have a very similar look to them, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. That's not that crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
This next one's from Portugal, and I feel like this is something that
Lot
we
of
do as
places
Americans
do it, yeah.
even as well. During Consoda, the traditional Christmas feast in Portugal, families sometimes set extra places at the dining table for deceased relatives. It's thought that the practice will ensure good fortunes for the household, and in some areas, crumbs are left on the hearth as well, and you thought feeding all your living relatives was hard enough, it says. Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like when I've had family members pass, a lot of times they'll, like, leave a spot for that family member and stuff. I don't know if we put food in this spot, though.
Yeah.
But there is, like, a spot to kind of respect their... the fact that they are missing this year and stuff like this.
I know a lot of the those military like bars and things like that for like Veterans Day and stuff like that, they will actually have a special table that is for people that have passed in like wars and stuff like that, and they always have that set. And, like, they'll, like, leave a beer there or something like that during, like, Veterans Day and stuff like that in remembrance for all that have passed in wartime and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice tradition to do.
Yeah.
It's like a respect thing. Now, this next one that's on this list, I feel like we talked about
Yeah,
this
we
in the
did La
original one.
Befana in the other one, yeah.
Yeah, basically La Befana, since we did talk about it in the other one. But this is like a tradition where it's basically Italy's version of Santa Claus, I guess.
Yeah.
Because unable to conclusively prove the existence of Santa, the Vatican decided to throw its weight behind something they had had countless dealings with. An old witch called La Befana who delivers presents to kids in Italy. That's an interesting...
Yeah, if I remember correctly, she actually was invited by the three wise men to go see
Yes.
baby Jesus.
That's correct.
And she said, I have too much shit to do. I can't. And so they're like, all right, bye. And then last minute, she's like, oh, well, you know what? I screw it. I'm going to go. Well, of course, she went on her brooms, and she got lost. And so she just decided to give up trying to find baby Jesus, and that's where it kind of went into the whole thing where she just decided to deliver presents to any baby that was any kid that was around, because you know, she's like, well, I don't know which one's baby Jesus because I don't know where the hell I'm going. So
yeah. So that's what's up with her. So she's like a nice witch. You know, you don't hear.
Yeah, she's a nice witch.
You don't hear too many folklore stories where the witch is like a good person, especially one that's giving gifts to children. Usually they're like, you know, eating the children.
They're eating children. Yeah, there was one that we talked about that was eating children. Like she came down from the mountain.
It was like Grundle or something like that. Yeah, she was just like eating them and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, go watch that or listen, watch whatever that episode. The Czech Republic. On Christmas Eve, unmarried Czech women stand with their back to the door and toss one of their shoes over their shoulders. If it lands with the tie facing the door, it means that they'll be married within the year. If it lands the heel facing the door, they're in for another year of watching Bridget Jones movies, as they're making jokes. Perhaps it's better than marrying a heel, though. Ha ha ha.
Ugh.
So this is really similar to you know, like what we do at weddings and stuff.
Yeah, with the throwing
Tossing
the bouquet and the garter. Yeah.
So this is kind of,
shoe.
And it's on Christmas Eve. So it's just a tradition where they throw their shoe and see. Like, I wonder how much of this stuff is still actually practiced.
I don't know.
If you know, let us know in the comments if this is actually something that you know is still actually practiced by the people in any of these countries, because obviously there's not really a way for us to just know. We're not there. Let's see. One from Germany here.
I remember that, yeah. Leaving on the eve of the 5th of December, German children leave a boot or a shoe outside their bedroom door. In the morning, if they've been good, they'll wake up to find the shoe filled with sweets. If they have been bad, then they might find a branch. And I think there's other things that they leave in there too. Maybe even coal or something like that.
Yeah, and it says that it's preferred you leave your newest, best shoes. Probably because there's food going to be put in it.
Yeah.
So branch, would that be Krampus then? Because, he likes to hit people with the branches.
I mean, it is Germany.
Yeah, and it's Germany, right. That's why I'm wondering if this has a little bit of a...
a hint that, you better shape up or
hint of Krampus there.
Branch is going to be across your ass.
Yeah, I'm just going to put it on the shoe. It's a little forewarning for actual Christmas Day.
Yeah, there you go.
It's going to slap your bitch ass if you don't straighten up. Good old Daddy Krampus.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Oh, what's this? Underpants. This one's from Spain.
Okay, it says, here's one for the new year. In Spain, it is customary to wear red underwear on New Year's Eve. Small town of La Font de la Figura has taken the tradition one step further. A New Year's Eve run with the runners wearing just red underwear. And, of course, there's a joke that says, coincidentally, the town has the highest incidences of pneumonia in the country.
Well, that actually might be true. Who knows? Well, this sounds like a fun tradition.
That's weird.
Yeah,
red underwear. Why? It doesn't even say. It just says, wear red underwear. Doesn't even say why. It's weird.
I don't know.
Do you know why?
This is just, it says that they had the New Year's Eve run. It's probably just something because it's just tradition. It's kind of like St. Patrick's Day. It's tradition to wear, green.
Yeah. Sure.
this, they probably have the red thing, and then it led into one thing, and it's like, oh, it'd be cute if since everyone needs to wear red underwear, it's tradition, we'll have one where they're in nothing but their red underwear. Town probably wasn't doing well or something, so they did something like this, and now, that kind of crazy shit draws people to an area. A lot of places will do things like that. There's this one from Iceland, which is pretty awful looking. Icelandic kids don't get just one Santa Claus. They get 13 mischievous trolls roaming the country in the fortnight before Christmas. Like So Night Seven Dwarfs, each of the 13, oh no, Hlosavener? I don't know how to say that.
Say Yule Lads.
13 Yule Lads, because there's like the actual like Icelandic name, and nope. Yule Lads has his own personality, including doorway sniffer, spoon licker, sausage swiper, candle stealer, curd gobbler, and the ominously named window peeper. Each takes turns visiting children who leave shoes in their bedroom window, dropping off presents for the good kids, and rotting potatoes for the bad ones.
Okay.
Yeah, so in Iceland, you just have all of these. I feel like everything's a little bit creepier in Iceland. You just get all of these terrifying little troll goblin things that just.
Just the names. Yeah. Doorway sniffer.
Sausage swiper.
Yeah.
Spoon or window peeper. I mean, he's basically a peeping Tom.
Yeah.
And the picture they have of these things, it's just not great. Mm-mm. Oh, yeah, that's the same one there. Yeah, and spider webs. Oh, yeah, this thing.
Oh, yeah, because we did that. Yeah, I found that.
Oh, I'll have to put the picture from the website on here that I'm looking at, because it is something else.
It's like nightmare fuel right there.
But radish carving in Mexico City, actually. Each year in Mexico City of Oaxaca, I think might be how you say it. I'm not sure.
Oaxaca?
Yeah, the days before Christmas are marked with an event known as the Night of the Radishes. And they go on this article to say, sadly, it's not a low-budget 80s horror movie, which is very accurate sounding.
It does.
But instead of a vegetable carving competition, participants get remarkably creative with everything from the nativity scenes to the fantastical monsters on display as thousands of visitors descend on the city to witness the fun. The radishes in question are grown specially and pumped with chemicals to grow immense, but it all seems a bit futile as the works can only be displayed for a few hours before the veggies wither away. But yeah, this thing's like some Cthulhu-looking thing here.
That is like, my goodness.
Like this one, that one's, there you go. That's like a Christmas scene. Just some like a mariachi band. Oh, a phoenix. That's cool. Some of these are really cool looking. But yeah, that first one. Oops, I clicked on something.
Oh no.
And that first one was definitely like something.
Thing.
And what's this? It says in Sweden, apparently watching Donald Duck on television is a big thing. Every year at 3 p.m. on Christmas Eve, around half of Sweden sits down to watch the 1958 Walt Disney TV special From All of Us to All of You, known in Swedish as Kalla Enka och Hans Värna Ans Kagajo. I'm sure that's not at all how you say it. The title translates to Donald Duck and his friends wish you a Merry Christmas. But really, it's unusually known as Kalla Anka. Since 1959, the show has been airing without commercial interruption at the same time every December 24th on TV1, Sweden's main public television channel. It's one of the 3 most popular TV events each year, and lines of the cartoon dialogue have become common in Swedish parlance, which I assume is the Swedish language, is what that means, presumably. It says Jeremy Stahl, who remembers the first Christmas visiting Sweden with his soon-to-be wife, observed, I was taken aback not only by the datedness of the clips and somewhat random dubbing, but also by how seriously my adoptive Swedish family took to the show. Nobody talked except to recite favorite lines along with the characters. Stahl notes that for many Swedes, other Christmas Eve festivities revolve around watching the show, what time they eat the Christmas meal, for example, and that although the traditions may seem strange, it also makes some sense. For many Swedes, there is something comforting about knowing that every year there is 1 hour on one day when you sit down with everyone and your family just gets to be together. I mean, I guess that, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, in America, we kind of have that, but I don't know if it's, like, scheduled all the time on the same time. But, like, there's a lot of these channels that place in like a Christmas story like
Yeah,
every year.
Yeah, the
just
Christmas
on
Story
repeat.
plays it 24/7 for
Yeah.
24 hours for Christmas Eve and day and stuff.
Yeah, so I mean,
I guess so.
but I mean, it's interesting that they have like a very particular time that they just kind of like always do it. They're like, this is the time that it is every single year on this exact day. So I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that about does it for all of the different like Christmas legends. I'm sure there's even more out there. Are there ones that you think we should cover in a future episode? Let us know in the comments below. We found a lot of these entertaining, and I thought it would be kind of like, we didn't like research them too much beforehand. We just kind of like read them as we went, just to kind of like, so that way it felt a little more natural without like pre-knowing some of them. Like some of them we knew, but some of them were really weird, like the pooping log and stuff like that. Like just really weird stuff.
Right?
Yeah, yes.
Like, who would think to like, a pooping log? Who would think that would be something that, would be a tradition for somebody? I just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, it's really odd. But as always, make sure you like and subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos or, whatever it is that we're doing. Yeah, videos would be if you're watching on YouTube. If you're just listening to the podcast, make sure you subscribe and leave us a review. If you're watching on a podcast format or a podcast app that lets you leave reviews like Apple Podcasts or whatever, it helps us a lot with the algorithm and all of that. And share our stuff. Tell somebody about it. It helps us out a lot. And if you really want to help us, check out our Patreon where you can donate to us. And yep, there's like different perks and stuff like that. But the biggest perk is us continuing to make this content because, again, we are a smaller-ish channel, so it is very much appreciated. And thank you to the couple people that currently are on the Patreon. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you in the next.
Bye.